see, but how many of you do it today?
I know I have made bread.
Yeah, made bread, yeah. Well, very few people make bread. Basically because it takes a long time to make bread. It's not the actual time you spend in the preparation of it, but all the rising of it, that you have to be around for it. It takes almost all day. So anyway, to start out, you have to have a big bowl, and in the bowl you'll have salt and sugar and shortening. And then you're going to add yeast, and you have to soften your yeast in lukewarm water, okay? And then you put that in there and stir it to sort of help melt the shortening. It doesn't take too much to do that. And then you have water. I had my water measured in here before, that's right. But at home you wouldn't do that. You add water or milk. And you can do half and half or all of each, you know. If you use milk, you need to scald the milk, and that's bringing it to a boil where just around the edges of bubbles. Don't want to do any more than that. And you add that to it, and you stir it, and then you add your flour, and you get this sticky, big clump of dough. Okay, and you turn it out onto a board. And now this has been kneaded for a while. It doesn't look, as nice as this one looks now after it's been kneaded. But that's what you have to do next, is you have to knead your bread for about 10 minutes. And you take the top, you pull it down halfway, and you push it with the heel of your hand. Now this is dough for just 2 loaves of bread. It's because it's been sitting here and it's warm today, it's really raised up. So it looks like more than 2 loaves, but that's what it was when it was mixed. But you push it down, then you turn it a quarter of a turn, and you bring it down, and you push it down, and you just keep doing this for about 10 minutes. And that's the part of baking bread that people don't like, is that 10 minutes of having to knead. But actually, I think it's sort of fun. I do a lot of thinking while I'm doing that. Anyway, after you have it kneaded like you want it, and after you do it for a while, you'll get just to know that feel when it's there, And you have a greased bowl, and you'll put it in the bowl, and you have to then let it rise till it's doubled, and that takes about 2 hours. And then you punch it down and form it into a ball again, and then it has to rise again, and that's maybe about an hour, hour and a half. It depends upon how much you're making and what your weather is. You have to have warmth to get your bread to rise. And so if your house is cold, you can heat your oven like to 250 and then turn it off, and then put your bread in to rise. That's one way of doing it. Anyway, after it rises twice, then you're going to dump it out on your board, cut it into the loaves that you want, and shape it into the loaf, put it into a pan, and let it rise again. And then after about an hour, you put it in the oven to bake for about, anywhere to 35 minutes to an hour if you like. I come from a Norwegian family that likes their bread crusty and dark. And so ours we bake about an hour. A lot of people may bake about 35 minutes. So, and then you have that good smelling stuff in the house. Now, it's taken you all day with all your rising of the bread, but you can do other things along the way. You aren't just baking bread. Would you guys like to try to knead some bread?